What's up, Facebook and YouTube? Bro Sanchez back with you. Today we're going to be talking about this current situation we got here in this bogus country. Now, this is going to be real simple. I'm just going to be giving my opinion on the state of things and everything. And I'm not trying to convince nobody of anything, but all I can do is share with y'all my plans and how I'm going to be moving on in the future. So we all understand that this American system ain't looking too good. We understand that the American dollar is losing power and that it's on the verge of a collapse. And we also understand that the same people telling you that is still selling you merchandise and products. The American dollar is losing power. That have a lot to do with this Harriet Tubman situation that they got going on as well. I won't speak on it because I want this video to be simply about passports and moving out of America, because one popular teaching among the country's community right now is that you need to save up your money and buy a passport and leave before all crap hits the fan. Okay, what I'm gonna do right now for everybody under the sound of my voice is I'm gonna be real with y'all as a man, from man to man. That is a fake revolution. It's not realistic. It will not happen the way you thinking in your mind, like a bunch of us gonna go buy passports and leave the country. And by the end of this video, we're gonna re-question our whole philosophy on the way we going about this whole situation and the current rhetoric that's circulating in the country's community. So you got to understand some real simple facts right now. And as a man, you got to ask yourself how much running you want to keep doing. So let's go over some basic little facts. Then I'm going to get into some reasons why a passport is denied. Now that's going to get real interesting right there. Okay, so now let's move on. Now this is a Facebook post that I actually put out, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm going to read it to you. Sick of people talking about buying passports and running away from America? Me too. Brothers, we have to be realistic. There are 10 million to 20 million blacks in America, and if everybody can't get a passport and run away, then I'm not. Another thing you have to realize is that the people at the top are united by all colors. In case you haven't known, there's a white Illuminati, black Illuminati. Every continent you go to, there's a hierarchy at the top full of elite people, and that power structure consists of all people. The big illusion that most of my people fall victim to is that when we hear the term white supremacy, we think that it means a bunch of white men in the room running the world. That is so dumb, people. You must understand that this is a global effort between a bunch of different nations, and not all of them are white, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking about treaties around the world. You must understand that what I'm telling you goes all the way back to ancient Kemet, when we deal with these same royal families that's been ruling this world. Okay, there was always a interracial power structure. The big illusion that most black people aren't aware of is that there has been an interracial power structure for centuries, people. This same family bloodline we see in power today. You must understand, Barack, a lot of your rappers, a lot of your rich blacks, rich whites are all related, people. Or maybe you guys didn't know this, or maybe some of you people in the conscious community want to be blind to this fact. Keep it real, okay? There was a sharing of the throne in Kemet that nobody want to talk about. But on this channel, I'm going to get into that in the future. Let's stick to the passports here, because I can go on and showing you how dumb the philosophy is that we got, brothers and sisters. I'm only trying to free your mind. Now, it's cowardice to try to run away. You got to eventually stand up and fight. And this goes for everybody, because when this thing go down, if it go down, it's going to be the powers versus the powerless. You must understand that, okay? The thing is that the people at top, as I mentioned, they united. All races united, orderly fashion, running this thing. Got us blinded. They seeding the media with the type of images and things that we need to see to keep us divided at the bottom. So my black cousin, who may live in the so-called ghetto, can argue back and forth with the redneck named Bubba, who live in the trailer park, all he want about black versus white. That's what the elite want, because when it get to the elite power structure, the only color they see is green. So that's That's what you got to keep in mind. While they got Bubba and Ray Ray fighting, both of them getting sprayed by chemtrails. It ain't like they ain't spraying Bubba or they ain't spraying Ray Ray. And I'm just keeping it real here, people. And I'm not going to sit here and say that there isn't an abundance of police brutality out here in these streets. That definitely needs to stop. And you got these big time sheriffs going around want to deny this fact, following protocol. You see, you got to understand that the police force is a form of Freemasonry. Now, I got future videos coming out where I'm going to go into all that and expose that situation. But we got to be smart today. We can't keep playing into their game. It ain't like you're scared because you stand out of the way. When you understand that you're a target, you'll stay out of the way. Now, no, you don't want to be scared, but you want to play chess, all right? We want to fight when it ain't in our benefit. For example, right, all of these speakers coming out promoting this, let's buy passports and run away and do all that. They saying that America is basically Babylon, but they forgetting that this is the same land that our ancestors cultivated. They forget that. They forget about the Olmecs when they say that. They forget about the native Seminole and the Cheyenne Indians and the Cherokee Indians. And my bloodline actually traced back on this land, people. So understand, black people out there, that most of us are natives to this land. When we say that this is Babylon, we got to really question that. Where can you go on this earth and escape Babylon? Because what we seeing in America is a worldwide epidemic. So you can't really go nowhere and escape it. I mean, you can't really go nowhere and escape this. That's just like being in a sinking ship thinking you can run to the back of the ship to be saved. The whole ship is gonna sink. You eventually gotta learn how to swim, my brothers. We can't have this passport mentality. All right. You can't always get a pass. All right. And really, people, that's been the story of this whole country's community. Passports. We want to pass our way out of everything and have a discussion about it instead of deal with it. So in this case, you know, we want to get passports and run away from the problem. We eventually got to stand up, because no matter where you go, if the enemy wants you, he will corner you there. So you can't run forever. Everybody know how this works. That type of philosophy is very cowardice, ladies and gentlemen. All right. You got to understand that the plan of the elites is world domination, not American domination. But let me repeat, world domination. So unless you getting a passport to go outside of the cosmos, you can't escape this problem. And one thing about the whole idea of getting a passport to leave this problem says a lot about your so-called leaders and teachers, brothers and sisters, because as I mentioned, all of us is just not going to be able to go. People, they don't have that much paper to print that many passports to give every American a passport to leave this epidemic that's so-called coming. All of us can't go. It's impossible, okay? Every black person is just not going to be able to go. So if all of your people can't go and you feel comfortable going and leaving some of them behind and you be safe by yourself, then that's just not the kind of leader I am. I'm sorry. I will stay on this land and stand up to whatever comes when it comes. And in the meantime, I'm still going to listen to Earth, Wind, and Fire. Ladies and gentlemen, we're not going to be panicking, all right? That's what they want you to do. Now, let's move on and get some more facts and information here, because I got a lot for y'all here today. So reading a little bit more of this post, want to know what's sad? We preach unity, yet we know all of our people can't afford passports, but some of us are going to run away and leave the rest of our people helpless. It really says a lot, people. You got to think about it. Our ancestors fought back with little spears against rifles. And what we're about to face on this land, if we don't get over this race card and get our heads out of our behinds and understand that the people at the top are united by green, but got us divided by black and white, we got to get over ourselves. It's bigger than you, it's bigger than me. These same people's children will be in control of your children if all of us people at the bottom don't work together. In my eyes, there are only two races, haves and have-nots. A lot of people say, Brother Sanchez, deny white privilege. There is indeed white privilege, but there also is a such thing as black privilege. I know a lot of people gonna crucify me for that one, but you must understand, brothers and sisters, there are rich black families who are a part of elite clubs, all right, who own companies that you don't even know about. Matter of fact, stay tuned for videos I got going deep into the black boule and the black power structure, because some of y'all just don't know how deep this thing is in the world. You've been bamboozled, and the black conscious community is a community that has a great motive with people who want justice, but the black conscious community has been infiltrated and the agenda has been blurred, if you ask me. Now, I'm not going to get too deep into that, but I'm going to continue on with some more of this stuff. Basically, y'all, you got to use your head and think, all right? The first thing they want to call you is a coon and want to get into all the labels and stuff, but you got to use your head, brothers and sisters. Let me move on and show you why. So as I stated previously, it's impossible for all of our brothers and sisters to get passports and escape what's ever going to come. So in my opinion, I don't think it's fair that some of us should be able to get passports and run and leave the rest of us here helpless. I'm going to tell you right now, if I had millions of dollars, I still wouldn't go anywhere. I just wouldn't feel right safe knowing that my brothers and sisters are still over here going through something that I ran from. And I'm supposed to be a person that's setting an example of leadership. I'm just letting everyone on the sound of my voice know, don't worry about leaving or panicking to leave or getting all into this frenzy. Live your life and be happy and know that Brother Sanchez ain't going nowhere. And hey, you stand up to whatever come, people. It's called bravery. Doggone it. Now let me get into this thing. What you're looking at right now in front of the screen is reasons a passport is denied. Now a lot of you runners ain't gonna like, y'all ain't gonna like this. Y'all ain't gonna like this now, because some of y'all want these passports. You want to get away. Now check this out. Passports can be denied for many reasons. If you are applying for a passport, you may want to make sure you do everything correctly the first time. The government fees will not be returned to you if the passport is denied. You can expect to have your passport 4 to 6 weeks if you use routine processing. So blase telling you the process. Here are some reasons now what would cause your passport to be denied. So passport photos, okay? Child support. Now, I'm going to stop and I'm going to build on some of these bullet points that I think I need to build on. Child support is a big one, brothers and sisters. We got to keep it real. Many of our brothers are on child support, all right? So those particular brothers on child support will not be able to get a passport. All right. Most people have someone in their family that's on child support. I mean, you got to think about that. None of our brothers who on child support will be able to run away with us, brothers. You comfortable with going? So now you're going to need a letter of authorization. You have to have a letter of authorization. So there's a process here, people. You don't just go buy a passport and go. All right. Then you need a consent form. All right. You need to fill out your passport applications. You got to get your signatures. Then you got to pay your government fees. So yeah, you need a letter of authorization. And if there's any discrepancies with it, your passport will be denied. Okay, this next bullet point, consent form. That will be something else that will make your passport denied. So you can see now, you don't just go buy a passport and fly away. There's a process here, brothers and sisters. So passport applications would be another reason that would have it denied, all right? Signatures, government fees, passport book damage, meaning if you get your passport and you get water on it or it's too damaged, it'll be denied. Identification, meaning if you don't have ID, of course you can't get a passport. Birth certificate. Believe it or not, many of our brothers and sisters don't have valid birth certificates. As crazy as it sounds, that is true. All of those people won't have time, to be gathering these important documents to be talking about getting a passport. There's just so many of us that have failed to meet this criteria, if you ask me. And last but not least on the list would be probation or felony, and that is the kicker right there for most of our brothers and sisters. All right, probation or felony, you cannot get a passport. So my question after reading all this to our leaders and teachers out here who are telling people to get passports and who are ruffling up the public and get them all in panic, this is called reaction, and you are a victim to the enemy's music. You are dancing to his rhythm. Snatch your head out of your behind, stand up, be a man, take a deep breath, put on some earth, wind, and fire, put your passport money back in your pocket, stay here and fight just like the rest of us, stand up for your family and these children, and quit spreading this panic attitude out there, my brothers. I'm doing this because I love you. All right. Now, real respect real. And I'm going to tell y'all something. My advice to any of you in the future, if you're going to be coming out with YouTube channels, please have tough skin. All right. If my channel was to stop growing right now, I would continue doing just what I'm doing, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just a young man on a mission to give the people the truth. Why? Because that's what's going to set us free, doggone it. Now, y'all fellas can't run nowhere. And now here go the crazy thing about all of that. After everything I just read to you guys about how they can deny your passport and all the trouble it take and all of that, you got to think about the mentality we got here. The argument is that the people in power are about to do some things that are so hideous, we need to run away. But here's what we fail to realize, that when we go and apply for a passport, the same people we are running away from, we are asking them, can we run? Think of how that look, people. I just want y'all to think about that a minute. Think of a man at the passport office in fear, trying to run away from the powers that be. And they tell him, nope, you're denied. You're going to stay here. And he begs them to leave. You got to think about that scenario. They're saying that the powers that be are going to do something so hideous here in the future that you better get your passport and get away now. Understand that your passport got to come from these same people you're trying to run from. Understand that now. Let's be clear on that. So when you get to the passport office, all couple thousand millions of us go and get passports or whatever, and they say, listen, we're not letting y'all go anywhere. My question to my brothers is, will you stand up then and fight with the rest of us, or will you continue to beg them, can you run from them? This is how cowardice this is. And I don't have time for those type of videos on this channel, because I'm gonna tell y'all the real illusion here. All of this stuff they feeding you is to stop your spiritual growth. There's a lot of knowledge coming in at this time, and if you worried about all of this fear that they're seeding out here in the media, again, you're dancing to the devil's rhythm. And Brother Sanchez just trying to get you back in tune, that's all. So we're gonna move through some more of these Facebook posts, and I want to share these posts with y'all because there's some stuff that we don't want to hear, but we really need to hear it because it's the truth. And again, that's what's gonna set us free, doggone it. Now, the big thing I hear a lot is what this person teaching or what that person is teaching is dividing the community. If what you are teaching is knowledge, there is no division in knowledge. There's only power in knowledge, people. Keep that in mind. I ain't gonna even beat that horse again. So we can't use that excuse. Understand that the reason people are divided is because of ego, not knowledge, all right? And my brothers, please understand my reasoning here, okay? All I'm telling you is put your ego aside, listen to your brother for a minute. We got to be men and stand up. This idea that we can buy passports and all of this is an illusion. There's so many illusions in the conscious community, and we're going to be getting rid of these illusions. We're going to be getting rid of them because they keeps us running in circles and we go nowhere. We're just hamsters on a wheel. And again, to my brothers who feel that passports is the way to go, my questions to you is, why do we buy AKs and Tech 9s to fight each other, but buy passports to fight global supremacy? All right, I want you to answer that question and get back to me. We're gonna move right on along. As long as you give a person white supremacy, you give them a boogeyman. And as long as you give them a boogeyman, well, we all know we can't beat the big bad boogeyman. All we can do is cry about the boogeyman. And I always tell you, blaming and complaining is why we ain't gaining. People, I love you enough to tell you the truth. All right, if I wanted to get you crunk and stroke your ego, I can really gain a lot of more subscribers. But I'm gonna keep it real with you. I'm gonna keep it real with you. You could call me what you want, but I'm gonna keep it real with you. Now, that's how you know you're being real, when the name calling even come in. All right, so understand that if global supremacy exists anywhere, then it always has the potential to spread everywhere. In other words, no one is free no matter where they go, as long as white supremacy exists anywhere. All right, the earth must be free of all control, and the laws of nature must prevail over man. But us so-called gods and goddesses need to act like it. We really need to act like it, because I'm going to tell you something. If we're going to be gods and goddesses, as we say, we can't also be gypsies too. All right, God, or gypsy. Jesus ain't look for passports when trouble came his way. And I don't care who your God is, I'm just using that as an example. We got to understand that. I don't have to beat this horse. We know what standing up being a man is. Now let's move on. So our ancestors didn't run. Running was never an option. Hell, passports didn't even exist back then. You got to go and ask. Can you run? That's how deep it is today, and you still can't see you defeated, and everybody waiting on something that's already here. I'm just trying to free your mind. People stuck in illusion, in panic mode, and fear mode, man, and they call that consciousness. I don't want freedom if you can't have freedom. If your plans of liberation doesn't include all of the people, then you are fooling yourself, okay? We want world freedom, not patches of liberation. Keep telling y'all to wake up and free your mind. Understand my passion here, brothers and sisters, because it ain't no more prophets today. It's only prophets. Quit believing in spookism, all right? I said there are no prophets, only prophets. You better believe that, people. We got to get out of this mentality. Now, I do this with love, ladies and gentlemen. Just understand that I'm a grown man, and what I do is for the children, because I see the deception that is being implanted into their mind. I see the self-hate that goes along with their ideology. It's disguised as consciousness, but once you inject it into the children, the child begins to see their body as a curse. The child begins to see reality as a curse, and we all know that that is detrimental to the psyche. Understand that I have love for all of my brothers and sisters. I only want to undo all of the stupidity that we've been under. All right? So understand, and continuing on, that I have no more passes for haters on my journey of spreading love. Y'all might want to write that down. That's one you can wake up to some of these days. All right? Now understand that evolution is baloney. We are all the handiwork of a divine creator. Races are illusions. They just keep us running in circles. The only thing that exists is cosmic energy. There is no separate force from the source, okay? You must learn to redefine your reality. We don't want to breed cowards, and we ain't gonna be pushovers to global supremacy. We gonna stand up to it. All of us can relate to some struggle, and anybody that want to deny that, they got to be fooling themselves. So as I said, the people at the top, you got black people, white people, Asian people, all kind of color people at the top that's running this world, sipping coffee together, feeding you foolishness, to hate your fellow brother on the side of you because the color of your skin, when they united by the color green. You know what? You don't never have to lose your ego and wake up to what I'm saying. It really don't make me no difference, and it sure ain't gonna stop the power structure. Only thing gonna stop the power structure is the people. And if you think that we can go against the power structure in a localized fashion where, well, I'm gonna unite with my little group and my little group, you already defeated. And all of this passport nonsense is baloney, and I just showed you why. So we ain't even got to get into that anymore. So understand that I can care less about martial law, FEMA camps, and what the government doing. When the time come, I'ma fight, die, or both. But until then, I'ma still listen to Earth, Wind, and Fire, baby. Now let's move on. The earth is what we all have in common. And don't you worry about haters in your life if you doing the right thing. Because guess what? Karma is real. And what people put out there towards you will come back to them just like a boomerang. You better understand that if you keep love in your heart and be reasonable in your thoughts and don't be so quick to harness hate in your heart, guess what? You're gonna go places. You're gonna go places. But you can't let them haters keep you down and slow you down, because you got to realize that some people's worst nightmares is seeing you live out your dreams. I'm gonna say that again. Some people's worst nightmares, brothers and sisters, is seeing you live out your dreams. All right? We all need to have love for one another. You might not agree with Brother Sanchez's stance, but that's my opinion. And I don't fault you because I come from that. All I want to let you know is never stop anywhere. Continue to grow and evolve. And man, if you have secret envy toward your brother until you lose it, it will always be the weight that keeps you from being what you admire in him. Understand that people who are successful attract success based on who they are inside. If you harness hate and envy, your life will be gloomy. And misery loves company, people. So understand, black men, that the biggest haters of black men today have become black men. And jealousy is a disease of the soul that first originates from the ego. So with everything being said today, people, I'ma leave y'all with this very simple but very powerful video for you to share to your fellow brother, your fellow sister. And it ain't about them agreeing with me or not. It's just about them hearing my plight and understanding their brother and realizing that whether they agree with me or not, that I'm their brother. We can't continue, y'all, to make each other out to be the enemies. All right. So I appreciate you all for tuning in. New uploads every Thursday. Peace and much love.